Hey, folks. Welcome to a video game edition of Brothers and Booze. We're going to start off here tonight with our buddy Ardetti and, man of many, many talents, art of fatherhood. Like, Jesus, man, you got so much stuff going on. I don't even know how to say it all. So,
what up, Doug? How you doing, sir?
Good, man. It's good to see you again.
Good to
Always.
see you too, man.
Yeah, so we got a good lineup here tonight. We have the guys from the Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, or it's more popularly known as SFGRPG. That's what it is. We got Gil from Fan Dads. Hey, Steve and Matt, how are you guys?
How's it going? You nailed it, Doug. Nailed it.
I had to read it because I'm not that bright.
No,
so,
it's fair.
We also have our buddy here from Gil from Fan Dads. And of last, but certainly not least, my buddy Greg Washington. Hey! How are you guys?
So what's going on, fellas? What are we talking about?
I think we are going to do some talking about the upcoming console releases, game releases. It's
or lack thereof.
What's that?
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, or lack thereof. That's fair.
Yeah.
We had some news today that was a bit disappointing. Thanks to Greg for finding that out.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, womp womp, especially for me. With my Master Chief.
Well, for all of us, I would say.
Oh, it's a little closer to home there.
Yeah, that was a little close to home for me. So, all right, guys, what do we think? Who's Xbox? Who's PlayStation 5, PC? What do you guys are your go-to consoles?
Well, for myself, it's pretty much it's been PlayStation for at least the past 8-9 years since Xbox 360, and then that kind of bricked, switched over to PS3, and been riding that train the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Art?
I would like switch back and forth between like a 360 and a PS3. This console generation has been all about the PS4 for me. I have an Xbox One. It's been sitting in a box for probably the closer to 3 years. But I built a PC about like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, cool. It's pretty much an Xbox, just better because I can upgrade it and continue to play everything. So, with Xbox Game Pass, there's no point in owning an Xbox if you have a PC anymore.
Nice. Gil?
Yeah, and I'm team PlayStation as well for this generation. I mean, and it's I'm not a fanboy, but just overall, I mean, I have all the systems, but it's the one I play more. The Xbox One is just sitting there. I don't play it as much. The Switch gets a lot of play between me and my kids, but that the drift on the Joy-Con is a huge issue. Like I've gone through 2 pairs of Joy-Cons already. So based on previous performance, I'm gonna have to go with PlayStation for this upcoming generation, and we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned the Joy-Cons. Another guy that is into the gaming world, you should check him out, Zach Rosenberg. He was trying to fix his Joy-Con and all that. I actually rock an Xbox One, PS4, and a Switch. And ever since I traded my Sega Genesis for one of the PlayStations or Xbox, I always keep my old machine. So I got a bunch of them in case I want to play some older games and stuff from the 360. And when you actually have the discs, right? I have a quick question because before we kind of go into the new gen games or the new gen systems and all that are coming out and the sad news about the game. Anybody here, especially with the PlayStation consoles, play the VR? I'm tempted because, of course, Star Wars geek. I see Vader Immortal going to be on PlayStation, and I still love playing Battlefront 1, and I see you can play VR through that. Any dudes have VR, and what's your take on it?
I don't have VR, so I'll defer to people if somebody else has it.
Not me.
I have a PSVR, and it's pretty cool. Originally, I wanted to get something like an Oculus or the Vive for PC, but they just keep coming out with new iterations that are like $1,000, $1,200, and I was like, I'm not gonna keep up with that for something that's way more hobbyist than just gaming. So I waited until Black Friday this year. I picked up a PSVR for $220.
Nice.
It was a steal, and came with a bunch of games. I've been playing Super Hot VR and it's fun. It's just I don't think it's, you know, there yet where like I would drop serious coin on a VR headset because I don't think it's like the next step for the platform yet.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Any
We
comments,
didn't ask Greg what platform he's on.
any comments on this comment though?
Quest is official.
Would you know that?
Yeah, I'm not.
I do not.
No.
Nope.
Anybody else?
No,
What's
'cause
this?
that's-
Sorry.
Yeah, because
No,
you said Quest is the first real consumer product. PSVR just isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, it totally like it's definitely not like quite there yet. I'm interested to see what they're going to do because they said it's going to be backwards compatible with the PS5, so they're not really going to change the platform much, and they're going to just, I guess, like push it forward. So we'll see what they do. I mean, you know, like there's like the Quest as well. That's like an Oculus Quest, I think,
Okay.
or something like that.
I believe it is.
Yeah, and that I think is interesting. I believe the Quest is a standalone though, where you don't need a PC. One of them is. I'm not really like super well versed with VR, but like I know that it's still not fully where I would want VR to be for me to start dropping serious amounts of money on it.
Michael also says in the chat room, or just in the chat, he just says, you know, Xbox One for my main system and PS4 for exclusives. I think we all, last time we were on here rocking a show, we were all talking about maybe why we jumped to another console for this game or that game, whatever the case may be. It's kind of like BS after a while, right? Because you have a system that you're used to, and all of a sudden this beautiful game comes out, another console, you're like, crap, right?
It's like that meme you see where the guy's looking back, just, ooh, what's that one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the nice, you know, thing to be, I guess, if you can afford it, if you're privileged to get each one of them. Like everyone's, you know, having a fit about Spider-Man being exclusive to PlayStation. I'm over here like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll be able to play it, though. I'm fine with it. So, but yeah, I can see why it's a, you know.
No empathy, Gil.
First
Yeah, well,
right? Like, you know,
Free
oh no,
beyond.
with Spider-Man. There's a lot, you know, more serious things in the world. But so,
Yeah.
where were we going with this? I don't remember.
I don't know. I want to say I do have a bit of envy for the PS stuff, just for like The Last of Us. That is something I can't play because I'm an Xbox guy. But man, everything I hear about that is just like the storyline's great, like everything works, and that's a game I actually wouldn't mind. I can't justify picking up the PlayStation after you know I got kids that are PC gamers and are like really good at it, and like those things are expensive, and yeah, I can't justify buying an extra system, unfortunately. So
either that or just wait for the next generation to come out and then there's a price drop on the last, or just find something on sale, or find a kid who got in trouble in school and his mom's selling it for like $150, and there's your bargain deals right there.
Yeah, I mean, I got mine refurbed, so you can always go that route too.
Yeah, that's my buddy Aaron. He gets everything. That guy has all the stuff. Like that guy gets it. So yeah.
So he's Tony Stark.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I wanted to say about the VR stuff is, was it 2 years ago in the before times when we could actually go places? I went to Halo Outreach in Philly, and I got to do like a VR Halo game, like where you put on the goggles, and we watched other people doing it, and it looked completely fucking ridiculous because you have you carry like this fake plastic gun, but you don't really do anything. You wander around, and people doing this. It looked ridiculous, but it was awesome. It was so much fun because it looked and felt like it, because you know there's certain things that you hear, and you know, again, I'm a Halo nut, so but like certain guns have certain sounds, just like I'm sure it is with every other game. You have certain guns that, like playing. Oh, I know that gun. That gun's just for this game, and they had like the alien ray gun thing where it's like, and it sounded everything. It felt like it vibrated when you did that. Yeah, did that. He did it I think down in Atlanta or Florida, if I can't remember. But yeah, that was awesome. So sorry, that was a tangent.
No. I mean,
How dare
you're
you.
talking about Halo. I mean, it's a real bummer to get that news that came out today, right? What was that?
Greg, you're the one that broke it.
I mean, Greg.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about it. Listen, man, I am the news guy. I find news and I present it to people.
He's
I
the
don't read
messenger. Breaking news. I have no idea what it means, but breaking news, right?
Here it is. Do
Greg is
something
the
with
Walter
it.
Cronkite of gaming news.
I'm just presenting the facts, man. That's all I got. No, I have a question. Can I put a question up here for you guys?
Yeah.
Michael wants to know. Our buddy Mike, what consoles are you guys are you getting? I'm assuming he's talking about the new ones that are coming out, and that's kind of a big discussion while we're here. So what you guys got with all that?
I think I'm gonna go. I'm hopefully it's coming out to pre-order soon, but ColecoVision. If you guys heard of that?
Damn.
No, I think
Maybe going 3DO.
I think I'm probably gonna get a PS5. Definitely go with that, just because mostly all the games I've been wanting to get have been on the PS4, so I'm just gonna stick with that as well. So I'm definitely going with that. And then Matt said too, it's like if I want a better gaming system, then maybe I should just finally build my own PC and follow Matt's route. So PS5, possibly a PC, depending on what games come out. But that's where I'm going. What about you, Matt?
I'm gonna go PS5. I have a PC that's like pretty much ready to go for anything that Microsoft's gonna put out. And they even said in their gaming showcase that like, oh, we're gonna have 14, which is all of our exclusives, ready to go on Game Pass day one. Well, Game Pass is on PC, so I don't need to buy an Xbox.
Nice.
Just and I'll buy whatever Nintendo puts out next. Like I guarantee that'll happen. But
sweet, Steve.
Eventually, I'll be going the PS5 route probably. But literally last week, I just built my first PC. So I'll have yay!
We're so proud of you, Steve. You did it.
I did a thing. Thanks, guys. So to the thankfulness of my wallet and my wife, I'm probably going to push that one off for a little longer because I don't need more technology to go along with it. But I mean, I'll be able to ride out the PS4 for a bit, and now actually having like a computer with a decent graphics card where I can run things and it goes smoothly instead of chop 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 chop. So I'll go with that one. Maybe at least. Plus, I never like to get the first launch of consoles when they come out because I'm worried about the bugs and other things. So usually, like the second generation or second launch, that's usually when I'm like, all right, I think it's time to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, nice.
What about you, Gil?
Yeah.
I am, well, ever since I found out that the KFC console was not a real thing, I decided I'm going to go with the PS5, and I'm just going off of previous performance. Like my PS4 is like a tank. Drop the controllers, you can charge them. I don't have to buy batteries. I can drop them. The thing never crashes on me. I just on that alone. But I mean the exclusives and everything too. And I do have a PC too, but I know just enough about PCs to get myself in trouble. So like I try to overclock stuff, I screw it up, So I put it together with my brother. But like now I can game really good on this PC, but I can't print. Go figure. Nothing can print. I don't know. That's someone else. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the PS5.
Cool.
If Grand Theft Auto comes out on PS5, when that happens is when I will buy. Next question.
So awesome. Nice. Love it.
Am I the only guy that's the Xbox guy? So that'll be me.
Less competition for you to worry about, though.
I'm not worried about the competition.
You don't have to get it till 2021 now.
Yeah, and well, you know what? The other thing I want to talk about before we go anywhere, we have another guy to bring in because we want to hear what he's got to say.
Yes. Fan dads is plural.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh.
All right, man. So we're gonna drop you right in the fire. What the next month though you'll get out of the two new consoles? Well, the two new
I'm gonna go with the PS5. And I think, the reason for that is because I have the PS3, and then right in my house is PS3, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. But on the 3 is the one I keep playing games on a lot. My kids use the Last of Us 2 and all those other games, so I'd rather get the PS5 so I could just close and see what else comes on. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm coming in choppy for some reason. My life.
It was a bit choppy, but hey.
Everything slow down.
That's what happens when you get an Xbox over a PlayStation. But
choppy.
Just joking. Do you remember like the whole idea of like people trying to like camp out for video games, kind of like people used to do for or still do for sneakers and all that, where it was like they would get the first one and there'd be so many glitches. Was that for the 360 or like the Xbox One? I mean, not the Xbox One, but the original Xbox. What is it? One of them like had so many glitches. Everyone's like, "Why'd I buy this?" Like, do you remember that? Which one was it for the 360? Or for
the regular one had some stuff, but I remember the 360 had the red ring of death.
Yes,
360 was a mess.
The picture-in-picture thing never worked out the way, and I love that feature, by the way. It never worked out the way it was supposed to. Remember, you could use the Kinect to like, hey, Xbox on, and you would come on and it would log you in. When that did work, it was awesome, but it only worked like half the time. So again, I'm telling you, Doug, I was an Xbox guy. I love Halo. I loved Xbox from the original one, but it's unfortunately like just let me down. Like, I don't, it's nothing personal.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, I had the first generation Xbox 360, and it never gave me the red ring of death.
Nice.
It worked for me for freaking years, and I mean years. I never had to turn it in, never get it sent in. Maybe I hit the sweepstakes there or whatever. But
there you go. You won, Doug.
Did you get it at launch though? Did you get like day one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's,
and everybody I knew, almost everybody I knew that had that red ring of death, and they had to send it back.
You got it 4 times.
4 times.
And so here's the crazy thing.
Wait, Matt, you got it 4. Gil, how many fingers did you hold up?
Twice me.
Twice. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
So not only that, it was my launch one, my first Elite, the arcade edition, because I stopped buying them. Like I was like, all right, I just need something. So push the hard drive in and let's go. I had every single one of my 360s red ring at some point. One I was able to fix, but then it got banned from Xbox 360 or the Xbox Live service.
Man,
back then they were like, "Hey, you open that shit up, you void your ability to be on Xbox Live."
Sure, that one.
Yeah.
What's funny is I remember having the first PlayStation and having like a modded version, and they never did shit about that. But then it also wasn't really online. So
yeah, I don't think it was. Online.
Yeah, that online it was a little bit of a killer, and then you get a little pop-up screen saying you've been banned. You're like, oh. It was fun while it lasted.
Intel had worse, Matt. He had 5 of them do that.
Oh, ouch.
But see, at least Aaron did say the warranty was amazing. Microsoft was great when he had the Red Wing twice. And then, again, Michael saying, it was amazing. I had to get, like, they were like, they told me to pound sand. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I got a refurbished one at, like, GameStop. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, the warranty once, but the second one I think was way too, it was out of warranty or whatever. I don't remember. But a funny story about the last Xbox 360 I got anyway. I had red ring, so I think it was the one I couldn't replace. Was like whatever, I'm screwed. And it was about the time I was engaged. So we'd go to the the registry stuff. You go to Target and shoot everything you want. So my wife is getting like silverware, all the normal stuff. I went straight to the Xbox.
Yes.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
And the best part is that she was like so embarrassed about it that she bought me. She's like, forget it. We're taking this off.
He just didn't want the guests seeing it. It's like, no. Here,
yeah,
you have this and take that off.
Either way, it worked out for Gil.
Exactly.
That is like you
still
just. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
No, I was saying it's like you still ended up with an Xbox in the end, so win-win right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine red ringed once, and I ended up asking our one buddy Joe, who's actually on the podcast with us now. He's kind of like my go-to tech guy, and it's like, oh well, plug it in, wrap it in a towel, let it run for like 15-20 minutes or something, because it's some sort of like part that's supposed to be soldered in there that disconnects. So you basically overheat the system to start melting it down again. So that way there's a connection, and then it ran until the band. And
that's some MacGyver shit there.
I know, and that
MacGyver.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty much. It's like, all right, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Take
With
a big lighter,
what can I do?
Turn it on, and then you just kind of cook it for a little bit, see what happens.
Yeah, blow torch.
Get one of those creme brulee torches and just hold it underneath or something. Ooh, toasty.
We just go back for a second and just give mad props to Gil for putting that on his list, man. And you went like that's a great if anybody watching this and they're engaged or they're gonna be engaged, and then they go to a Target. That's perfect because there's stuff for the for both parties, right? Mm-hmm. I love that. Like we went to Macy's and it was like plate this. Maybe I got some beer mugs here and there. But that is genius, man. Because maybe your spouse is your spouse is gonna be like, I'm embarrassed, I'm just gonna buy this for you. Or someone's like, that's a legit thing, man. I'll get that for him. So I love that, man. Well done.
that's an S tier move right there. Clutch.
Yeah, whenever I get married, it's just going to be a bunch of vintage Metal Gear Solid collectibles and just me being a giant kid the entire time.
Can I get some VR missions, please?
Yeah.
Oh man, fucking Solid Snake.
He's the best.
As long as it's not a name you use in the bedroom, it's okay.
Crap. I've been doing it all wrong.
Man, you guys didn't know what you started when you started talking about red rings.
Dude, it was a big deal back in the day. It affected everybody. Everyone had 360s back in the day. The red ring plague happened before the PS3 was even, I think, out. They started red ringing right when the PS3 launched. And I remember there were conspiracy theories that Sony had something to do with it. Nah, Microsoft picked bad heat management in that 360. They're still crap. I still see the red rings happening to people that are buying brand new 360s and stuff like that. Or they'll have it for a couple months and they'll still, it's like the giant black eye on that whole generation.
When you see that ring, right? The red ring, we've all experienced it. It's you hear the fan going, all of a sudden the game kind of stops, and depending on where your console is, you see in the corner of your eye from green to red, you're like, son of a man. Here we go.
Por qué?
It's not like the old Nintendo where you just pull that shit out and be like,
yes,
exactly.
So back then, 8-bit, 8-bit, you had to pretty much, cool it with your breath. And then, of course, we talked to someone who's MacGyver, and they're like, yeah, just heat that puppy up, and it'll solder itself back together. I love that.
That is some ingenious shit.
Yeah, props to him.
What is this? Do you guys know this? The towel solution?
That's what Matt was saying.
Yeah, that's what Steve
wrapped it in the towel and that heated it up.
Yeah. Cook it from the inside and make it fix itself while you shake your fist and swear at it. That's the important
it in the oven and set it to broil, and then it together.
So another thing, I would constantly have to switch my HDMI ports back and forth between my PS3 and my Xbox 360. If you don't have something plugged into the 360 and you turn it on, it does the red ring. But it's only 2 instead of 3, which was that was death, was the 3 lit up.
Yep.
And 2. But every time it would red ring, I was like, no, son of a bitch. I was ready to just throw the thing out the window. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm never doing it again. I'm never buying an Xbox product again.
And then you plugged in the right AV port,
and
you're like, wait, we're good.
Totally okay.
Sorry, Bill.
Overreaction on my part. Don't you use your logic on me, Steve Smith.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys too is the idea of I was looking today, and again, I did very crappy research because it was a busy day, but when I was looking at the backwards compatibility element, Xbox supposedly is saying that you can go all the way back to games on the first Xbox. I don't know how they're pulling that shit off. Whatever. What about the PS5? It's said that they're going to have backwards compatibility. What have you heard about? How many systems can you go back with that?
I think when they were first starting to talk about it in the beginning, they were trying to make a run maybe back to at least the PS4 and then into PS3. I would be surprised if it went all the way, although there were rumors about it, but rumors are rumors. You're not really going to get too much. I haven't really heard too much about it like recently, like that they're actually still looking to do the backwards compatibility, how Xbox is going to do it. Now, I think it might just be certain titles that you might be able to, but I mean, that's kind of a granted. It's not like I can play, you know, my PS1 Spyro the Dragon on a console 20 some plus years later that would probably just spin the whole thing to death and shatter inside the compartment.
Yeah, because I think you're gonna have to do like patches, I guess, or you're gonna have to do downloads to be able to do the games, right? So if you wanted to play Spyro, you have to download something, or they. So I think at start at least, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be maybe 1,000. I saw. I'm trying to look up. But they're saying that thousands of games at launch, but maybe 1,000 or so of the first. So so who knows which one I'm gonna be able to play.
Yeah, I saw that they were definitely gonna be able to do PS4, but
PS4
on that. So.
I heard PlayStation or Sony's teaming up with Sega, and they can go all the way back to the Genesis. They're going to have a thing we can put in the.
I was going to say, don't joke around about that. I still got my Sega Genesis cartridges in the basement, sitting right next to my NES. They're just hanging out.
Right next to my Intellivision.
Yet.
But nowadays, don't you feel like you can, Raspberry Pi or just MacGyver it and to find like games that you want that like were on a PlayStation 1 or a 2 and find some way to play that game, right? So I think because now there is the possibility of doing this, Sony and Xbox or Microsoft are like, yeah, I guess we can just let them have it, right? Because it's like there's not that many like mountains to climb over to get that. So they're just like, yeah, I guess anybody can do it now. So let them have their cake and eat it too.
All right, so we didn't really discuss the thing when we were talking about the new consoles was the idea of like having Halo announce that they're delaying their launch for Halo Infinite instead of being with the launch of the new Xbox, launching it next year. I personally kind of expected that with the shitty feedback they got for their trailer. Mm-hmm. And interesting, I said this, and I don't know what group I said this in, but I remember saying, I don't buy Halo for graphics. I buy Halo for the story. And I read the books. I'm all into the mythos. So for me, I'm going to go get it regardless. But the thing that actually disappointed me was the graphics. It was that they made a Thanos-looking Elite. Do they have like some sort of partnership with Marvel? Because that looked like fucking Thanos. What are you doing? I was just so disappointed. But I guess so we know that's going to be delayed until next year. Okay, whatever. What a freaking glove, man!
Nice,
very nice. That's what she said, by the way. But anyway. What people call it. Do that again, man. Go get that. So what titles are you guys looking forward to for the releases? I mean, I think I know that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be out for basically a cross-platform, across whatever platform, correct?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I believe so, yeah.
That'll launch.
Totally off subject, but Art, is that the one that you got from Loot Crate that you can burn your hand in?
Do you remember they said, be careful, it could be flammable?
So we got to tell everybody else what we're talking about. Show it again. So that was I don't even know what you call it, oven mitt, right? It's supposed to be an oven mitt. But then they sent out a thing later that people were burning their hands using it, so they wanted you to cut it up or send it back to them because it was defective.
That's just the Infinity Stones fusing. Exactly what it was.
So anyway, I have that somewhere too. I don't know where I left it. I'd be.
Back picture.
Greg's just like, I just stepped into a whole world of geekdom. I gotta step out, right?
He had to jump back in to just show his disapproval of just like
what the
no.
Shame.
Greg actually was teaching me how to get back online. He's like, don't you know how to use a computer, man? What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be some tech guy.
You're a PC gamer, you're saying.
Yeah. He was my Geek Squad guy, coming over with the suit and tie to help me get back online.
Right. I was missed by McCall, though, so I was missed. Cheers.
Thank you.
Victor, well, we were talking a bit right before you jump back in. Was what games are you looking for the new releases for when the new systems come out?
The Miles Morales. I guess it's an expansion pack. I keep hearing it's like an expansion pack and it's a standalone game. So I don't know which one of the two, but
they gotta make that a standalone game. Maybe like a tie-in, but they should make it a standalone game.
Because if it's like a couple of hours, I don't know how people are going to react to that. But yeah, that should be like a good, nice 8-10 hour game. I don't know. I was looking at the Microsoft like their press screener thing when they had all the games coming out. The only one that was like interesting to me was Stalker. I don't know why. That was just like it stood out for some weird reason, and not just.
Oh, we know why.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that one looked kind of interesting. And other than that, I mean, maybe Halo. I don't know. I mean, I like shooter games, but I can't play them too long because I start getting motion sickness. So that's the one thing. Yeah, that's what happens when you get old. So,
How do you feel? Well, how about like open world stuff then, Victor? Like things where like if you're doing like Red Dead Redemption where you're on a freaking horse,
right?
Does that give you motion sickness?
That I could stand for a while, but yeah, after a while, I'm like, I can't. I gotta find some place to get my tent going and then just relax for the night, camp it out for the night.
Yeah. Anybody else care to weigh in?
Yeah, probably Cyberpunk 2077 is up there on the list, and the new Horizon, like with Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4, I went buck wild on that game. Like, it was one of the games we reviewed for the podcast, and it was probably like the most fun I've had playing a game in a long time, just losing into it. Plus, it's like robotic animals that you can either shoot down, harvest their innards for God knows what, or turn one into like a mount. And so I'm riding like a mechanical bull, but literally a mechanical bull, and just charging over crap. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do, because now I think it's called the Forbidden West. I forget what the secondary caption is on it. But you see like the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's actually going to be more like actually the West. So it's going to be out in like California and whatnot. But that looks like a lot of fun.
What do you guys think about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
That's another one on the list that I think they can do good with it. But unfortunately for some of those, it's like you never know until you actually like have the product in your hands and you can like see like what they're going to do with it. But kind of going on like a Viking type of assassin. As soon as I saw the trailer when Sony had their press release for everything, I'm just peaked. Let's see how this goes.
Nice. Yeah, same for me. Sorry. Somebody else was going to make a comment and I interrupted. Sorry. Stalker? Anybody?
I mean, if we're talking about games right that we're looking forward to, I'm still all about the Bethesda game. What was it called? Deathloop. If you guys saw the trailer for that one looks really cool.
Yeah.
What one?
Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Deathloop. Right? I think I got that right.
Otherwise known as 2020.
Yeah.
It just keeps going around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is Charles trolling us with this?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Hey, that's a good series.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not trolling. Because I know Ratchet and Clank, and that's a kid's game, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I
like Crash Bandicoot. That shit kid's game, and I could play that all day long.
I'm pretty sure it's rated E for everyone, so it's for everyone. Let's go with that.
Rift Apart looked really awesome when PlayStation showed that off. I was actually really impressed by that, how seamless like the rifts are. Now, I don't know if that's like, Flash for, just like, oh, this is like more of our technical side of like trying to show it off. But if the game is that smooth in transition, that game is going to be a must-own for me. So I have I'll go back and forth. One for Microsoft that I'm looking forward to is State of Decay 3. I love those games. I've been playing through State of Decay 2 recently. It's just incredible, like the whole survival aspect of it. And then the next game that I'm really like diehard, like must have this game is Elden Ring. And there's like not a lot about it, but I'm like hardcore into like the Dark Souls games, and I really, really, really want to see what's next from Software.
Nice.
And plus, George R.R. Martin is writing the story for it, so I'm like super excited to just see how like literally the hardest video games in the last probably 2 decades stack up against George R.R. Martin's like just brutal storytelling. I think it's going to be awesome.
The game's going to be downloadable content because he's not going to be done with it until like halfway through.
Well, see,
Stole my
at
words.
least this time he'll have editors. Like he'll have someone being like, "No, you need to get this done before you die eating a sandwich, sir. So like, please, just get it done."
The pizza's coming. The pizza's coming. Just hold on. Just wait.
Fucking A. As someone who's a Game of Thrones fan, like just the idea of him like doing that instead of actually writing the last book.
I know.
Yes.
Watch that game come out before the last book comes out.
It's probably going to.
He's not finished with that book. He's not even close.
No. I'm working on it. Are you?
He's got a James Patterson that stuff and just get a whole bunch of people to write for him. And he just looks good. Sure, go ahead.
Ghostwriters everywhere.
Are any of you guys like the driving games like Forza fans? Because I saw that the next Forza game is supposed to come out with the Xbox launch, and I'm not a driving games fan, so
Mario Kart is like my driving game of choice.
That's what I like. Greg's in agreement.
Cheers.
I mean, like, okay, you know, it stinks because like the graphics are legit, the gameplay, and all this other stuff. When you play one of those games and they try and make it challenging to like shift, do all this other stuff, halfway through I look at myself, I'm like, why am I even playing this game? I'm getting a headache. Forget it, you know? So I feel bad for the makers of that game. Looks like they're super into racing, but I think we're all agreeing. We're like, yeah, Mario Kart, sure. Look, he's throwing the shell.
What was the game that you got points for like wrecking? And I can't remember what the hell it was called.
Burnout.
That was actually a fun game because you could race, but you got to be like, the hell with this. I'm just going to wreak mass destruction and wreck into things to get points for it. It was
Exactly. I think the mode was even just called Road Rage or something like that. I remember it's like
it was nuts.
Burnout Paradise was
I
awesome.
enjoyed driving around it, but yeah.
One remake I would not be upset at is Road Rash. If you remember that back, like from, I think that was like Super Nintendo and Genesis era, where it's just basically drive and beat the crap out of someone with like a chain or a 2x4 while you're going down. Like, why not? That's perfect after a day of work instead of being able to have outbursts. And it's like, tire iron to the dome. You're welcome.
So that's like a John Wick version of video games.
Sure.
I'm going to take a machete while I'm riding to work, knock off people with a motorcycle.
Someone mentioned
Now you have 2
Twisted
legs,
Metal.
now you have 1.
Someone mentioned Twisted Metal. Man, when I had the PS2, that game, and for all you Funko Pop fans or whatever, like they actually made like the ice cream truck with the clown. That's like
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth. Like I love that game. Those games were like just legit, and it was like the weird like heavy metal music. Then you just started playing, and like you select the ice cream truck, and it'd just be like this Joker laugh. You're like, all right, everything about that game was fantastic.
Yeah.
You could be like the big rig, just trashing everybody. It was great.
So over the top. I mean, there was the one, what was his name? Axel. He's literally a guy standing on a platform and his arms are just in tires. Like, for real. It's just like rolling down. I got to go left. Wait, let me try to shoot missiles. I'm like, where are they coming from? Because I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
They should make an updated Outrun. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Hey, does anybody else see a car driving in front of you that's a convertible, like a sports car, and then you're driving on a highway behind it, and all you think of is like, "Fuck, that looks like Outrun."
Yes. Yeah.
Or you see like an empty car trailer, and I immediately think of Grand Theft Auto and fucking trying to jump off of it.
Hold on, boys. We're going Dukes of Hazzard. Woo! We've all had the feeling. It's just never the payoff isn't what you think it is.
So I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Does the Halo announcement suppress
Doug, yes.
A number of Xboxes that will be sold when it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think so. Yeah.
I still will buy it, but I'm going to tell you, yeah, that does depress it.
So Halo is that big for that console is what I'm like.
Because I mean, it doesn't have a must-buy title now that I can think of.
No, because the other must-buy title was like literally Cyberpunk 2077 was like something that everybody was like really super excited about. That's cross-platform. It's not one platform, and so your exclusive titles are less and less, especially from an Xbox perspective. So your franchise is not coming out with your console launch. That I'm not going to say it's a failure because I'd rather them get the game right. And
Exactly.
Can though.
But if you look at the Master Chief Collection, that was a fucking shit show when it dropped, and they did 1 million updates, and it works great now, except it's 3 freaking years later. Yeah, well, and I play that because I play all that stuff. But like when it came out, I was like, this is almost unplayable. And yeah.
But either way they're going to get their money. It's just 6 months later, right?
Well, because Greg,
people are going to come, right? They're going to come either way when it comes, right?
Eventually.
Think about it this way, Greg. It'd be like if Nintendo launched a new system, right? And this Mario game, right? It's like this awesome Mario game. All of a sudden, like, yeah, it's not happening now.
Imagine if it was a Mario game that had all of the variants of that game.
And
you couldn't play. It was like borderline unplayable because it was glitchy. It didn't work. You couldn't do different things.
Oh no!
So that's how the Master Chief Collection was.
When Nintendo comes out with a new system, it better be a Mario game, a Zelda game, or both. Yeah. Or I ain't buying that shit. So I'm feeling it. Yeah. At least day one, I'll wait. I'll be like, okay, I'll wait until I see what kind of, you know what I mean? For me, it's Zelda for Nintendo. It's absolutely Zelda. They have to have a Zelda for me.
What about a Mario and Sonic Olympic game? If it doesn't have that, you won't buy it?
Right.
How many of you have the Switch, though? How many of all of you have the Switch game?
Yes.
I do not.
My oldest son did. My oldest son bought it for when he went to college. He's like, this is the way I can play it, and it's portable.
Mine's still at the store, so I have to pick it up.
Vincent has a comment here. Is Vincent on point here?
Yes, and Vincent, you're right, except that's not going to come out right away.
Yeah.
Because they're backing out all of it. It's not just the we're going to have the Battle Royale version, which I get with the popularity of Fortnite. Call of Duty came out with their Battle Royale version, which has been pretty successful. And I'm all for seeing a Halo version of that because it's it's in my universe. But like, I get Halo for mission first and then multiplayer second.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's me. Lots of people don't even pay attention to the mission stuff. How are you guys about mission stuff? Does anybody still play missions on things? Or are they more like, let's get online and play with my friends and all that jazz?
First run through was always campaign. And because that way it's like, this is what they actually made. Here's the storyline. Because I was like big Call of Duty for like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. I think by the time like Black Ops 2 came around is when it started trickling off because they started changing things too much to my liking. But anytime it has to be like campaign. So at least you kind of, one, you're already going to see like some of the areas that you're using in multiplayer anyway. Number two, they put the time, or at least just the way I look at it, they put the time and effort to build a story, and usually it's pretty good. Sometimes it's like really, really good and really enthralls you and gets you into it. Plus that way you get accustomed to using some different weapons, so that way you're not just jumping right into multiplayer and having your ass handed to you within the first 30 seconds and then testing the durability of the controller as it flies across the room and the dog's barking at it thinking it's like a rat running across or something.
What was the Call of Duty game that they were going to release without any mission?
They didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And I'm like, I didn't buy it. Specifically,
Call of Free Time.
What's that?
Call of Free Time.
Because I didn't buy it because I like you. I want to play the mission first. I get the feel for the gameplay, the mechanics.
Yeah.
Let me figure out how this works. And yeah, I'm old and my reflexes fucking suck, so I'm going to go on to get my ass kicked. At least I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing.
That's why you play the campaign first, so you get used to how to play it. So once you jump into the multiplayer, you're like, all right, I'll only die 20 times this time instead of 40 times. Well,
dude, you can also look when you're playing online with multiplayer. You can look at the geriatric rooms too.
Geriatric rooms, because sign me the fuck up for that.
If only there was.
Those are from 4 to 5
I'm a year away from an AARP card, so.
Doug's got the controller, and he's just like, all right, I might be old, but I know what I'm doing now because I finished the missions.
My reaction might suck, but I know what I want to do.
It's like the controller would be like one of those phones for people who have like don't want like a small iPhone. It'd be like those big numbers on it. You have like big controls, like a big
shoot.
The jitterbug. I have my jitterbug. I can call Timothy and wish him happy birthday.
There's also a button for life alert you can press if you need like actual help.
I remember back in the day, Gil sent me I think it was like email of a Penny Arcade comic strip, and it was like a room for dads, and it was like, everybody ready? Yeah. I was like, oh wait, I got to put the kid to bed. Oh wait, I got to change the diaper. Oh wait, I got to do this, and it's like, oh man, I can't play anymore. And that was like the whole strip, and that's basically what it is now.
Yeah, when your kids are small, that's all it is. You're like, all right, I got 15 minutes, I hope.
Yeah. Wait, is that someone crying or is that the game?
Yeah, right. Also, too, if you have a young one and you have like a baby Bjorn, when my oldest, when she was a newborn, I would, if she went in for a nap, I'd put her on Bjorn. I'd start playing on my Xbox.
Absolutely.
I'm learning life lessons today. I appreciate this.
Take notes.
When the time comes, I'm like, okay, little other Steven, you just get in your little thing. All right, let's go.
Because you got the warmth. They'll be sleeping for a little bit. They'll get like a 1 hour, 2 hour nap. There you go.
Exactly, and they'll start learning a whole lot of vocabulary.
Here's the tip, though: like, don't do it like right around bedtime, because then you'll be screwed. Then you'll be up all night. So don't do that.
Noted.
And you know the classic one about the second player controller turned off or just This is like when you're toddler.
And then you go DDD.
Good job.
Am I helping? Sure thing, Billy.
Totally
sure thing.
It's called the Luigi syndrome.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So Steve and I was talking to Matt earlier before you jumped in, and when I was listening to your podcast before, you had a podcast about Alan Wake, which is one of my. Now when I think back, I'm like, that was a great game, and then I listen to your podcast, and you go like, yeah, that was not as great as I remember it, and. And then I saw that on Xbox Live's, like the Game Pass, they have that for free. And I was like, oh, I should do that. And then I went, no, those guys said that sucked. And like, I'm not sure I want to ruin the memory of it, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense. I mean, we've actually encountered that like over the past few years that we've been recording the podcast, where we remember something like so positively, and I had so much fun, playing this when I was like 12, 13, even like 14, like I know, sorry, early 30s, my bad. But even something like playing like in that time, like when it was brand new, like this is the most amazing thing ever. And then jump ahead like another 15, 20 years, and you're like, oh, I want to relive that again. And then you do, and you're like, damn, I am disappointed. I should have never done this. So that's where you're always running a risk in between. It's like, is it still going to like hit that nostalgia feel and like, I'll still enjoy it? Or is it going to make me view it in a different light? And I don't know. I'm always apprehensive on certain ones. I mean, we do it anyway because we need content, so I'm okay with that. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't other ones where it's revisiting. You're like, well, there's a little bit of mild disappointment, but there it is. That's okay.
Like the most recent one for me was Legend of Dragoon. I loved that when I was younger, but man, that game just didn't hold up the way that I had really wanted it to. And I'm not, and in general, we weren't saying that Alan Wake is a bad game. What we were saying was it wasn't as good as how we remembered it, and there's always that like feeling of nostalgia to it. And I do, however, think that it is a game that everyone should play, especially if you're into the Remedy verse or whatever, like the Max Payne, Alan Wake, Control, like that whole universe is really interesting, and they all kind of get tied together. Alan Wake, he's saying AWE, that's actually an expansion for the game Control, where they're bringing Alan Wake in bigger elements into the game in an expansion, which I think is actually really cool. I'm so excited to check that out.
Yeah, when you said Control was something I wasn't even familiar with, and so that's something that I think I like. So Alan Wake, when I look back, I really loved that. And my wife and I were not married at that point, and she would watch me play it, and she would get completely freaked out by like need to use the flashlight to ward off the ghost, and she was like, she was freaked out by that, and she was freaked out also by Left 4 Dead, like when the music would start building. Oh shit, this is coming, and I don't want to deal with. And so, I heard when you told me about Control, I'm like, I need to check that out because that's something that's like right in my wheelhouse. So yeah,
for sure, it's absolutely like right up there. It's got that whole like Twin Peaks X-Files vibe. Spoiler alert, we will be reviewing Control on our podcast, and it'll probably be out within the next like 3 or 4 weeks.
Control. All I'm thinking is Janet Jackson.
That's some okay thoughts right there.
Yeah. Nice.
Back in my dancing days, which are long gone.
I still got like piles of cardboard. If you ever want to throw it down, I got a boombox somewhere.
As Victor knows, I was formerly a member of Force MDs. So yes.
Or in your overalls in the background of the video.
So did we discuss the idea of like what is the date release for consoles? Because I believe
Holiday
is all I heard. I didn't hear anything from
PS5. Xbox kind of just right. If I'm not mistaken, confirmed November 15th.
I think they confirmed November in general today. Like I think literally like 5 or 6 hours ago they confirmed definitely November.
So
it'd be cool if it was the 15th. I've seen PS5 rumored like the 20th, which I kind of hope so because that's my birthday and that would be fucking dope. Like I will definitely be taking a few days off of work and just like I'm gonna destroy a bunch of trash launch games.
This is my birthday present to me.
Yes, absolutely.
You should make a registry at Target and put that on your list.
You don't even need to get married. It's like, it's my birthday. Here's my birthday registry. But Matt, they don't do it. Here's the registry. Take it.
I'm getting married to my PS5, but also I need someone to buy me the PS5 and some games and an extra controller and things like that.
Exactly. Mail order console bride.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Gil,
it's already in white.
Gil, did you put anything else on your registry other than the Xbox?
No.
It just shows the seriousness. That is a dedicated man right there.
You get all the China and shit you want. I just want one thing.
I just want one thing from China.
I mean, priorities. I can drink out of paper cups.
Yeah. Salad tongs, chat pad. Salad tongs, chat pad. I think I know where this is going over here.
Here's the Xbox. Here's my cutting board. Look,
2-in-1. I will put the cutting board on top of the Xbox. Now it is a raised platform. It works for both of us, honey.
All right, I ordered 5 coffee mugs. Here's my Xbox sitting on top of 5 coffee mugs.
Man, with the new Xbox, with the new Xbox design, like it would be really hard to cut anything on that without like accidentally slicing into your leg at any given moment. Like, you're just like, all right, I got this onion, and there it is, right in the femoral artery. God Got
The
it.
other thing we haven't talked
Take
about
me to
is
the
like
hospital.
Xbox versus, PS5 design.
That's where Doug's life alert button comes in if you cut yourself.
Hey
Yes.
man, I'm telling you, I need a giant box because I'm freaking old and I can't see shit.
Xbox, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Please
I
hit
will help
restart.
you, Doug.
Please hit
911.
restart. Not connected. Not connected. Please restart.
So, since the last time we were, or some of us were together, I know Steve and Doug were here. I was trying to get how much is this going to cost out of you guys. So, are we any closer to that knowledge of how much this shit's going to cost?
So I have a FanDesk exclusive, right? I can guarantee you it's going to be less than $1,000 and more than 100.
Whoa, that's breaking. You heard it here first,
Breaking
ladies and
news.
gentlemen. This is it.
Greg, you're once again a breaking news guy.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Do.
Right. So there's no rumors. There's nothing that.
No, there. I mean,
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no.
No, I think PS5. I think they're saying is going to be like around the $500 price point. But then there's also going to be two different versions. There's going to be a full digital PS5 where it's pretty much download only off of the PlayStation Network, and then there is the other console where you can actually have the optical drive, so you can put like physical game discs in there. Now I'm curious how much upcharge are they going to have for putting in an optical drive and taking up that other space within the console itself. Is it going to be any bigger? Which, from the little pictures they were showing, I don't think it's going to be. But I mean, it's still just kind of speculated. But I would imagine I couldn't see this really being any less than like $450, $500. It's not going to be cheap.
That's going to be my guess.
But at the same time, they like the previous one was $499, right? And they want to go under that because they thought that was a mistake. I don't know. That's what I've been reading for the PlayStation, right? That they think it was too much.
Yeah, like $5.99 when it first came out.
I want to say it was $499.
That was the 3. The PlayStation 3 was $5.99. I kind of feel like the PlayStation 4 was only $400 when it came out.
I think that's right. I think the Xbox and PlayStation were both in that same realm. We're right around $400.
Yep.
And has this jockey always been this way? Because I feel, or am I wrong? Actually, tell me if I'm wrong. Are they not jockeying? I feel like there's jockeying, and does this always take place? Like when they both come out?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's PlayStation's race to lose, and I'll say it because of this. Xbox and Microsoft failed at messaging last generation, and PlayStation got off to a monumental start. Here we are closing out the generation, and there's like almost 3-to-1 comparison, like 3 PlayStation 4s to 1 Xbox. And that's huge. That's like actually unheard of numbers. But I think Microsoft has to nail the messaging, and they're just in this standstill where, PlayStation is waiting to whenever they want really to release their information, and Xbox is going to have to essentially match them. And I think it's this weird like pissing contest where if PlayStation thinks they can get one up on Xbox and be like, cool, here's our price point. We might not make initially like a ton of money off of the consoles, but it's going to force Microsoft to lose money on the console when they're already pushing like cloud gaming and the Game Pass so hard. Like, they could kind of kick them a little bit while they're down already. So it'll be really interesting to see how they leverage this information when it comes out. I mean, like, if Microsoft today was like, oh, like November release date, PlayStation tomorrow could be like, oh, October 20th is going to be ours. And then it's just like, boom. Microsoft is going to have to push their production up. Will they have the numbers? Will they have the, are they going to have to, raise their price initially from what they wanted and stuff like that? It'll be really interesting to see kind of how that plays out, because I think all of those numbers, until people are concretely saying like, oh, this is when it's coming out, this is how much it's going to be, all those numbers can be fudged up until it gets, like actually published. And with Microsoft, publishing that, hey, it's going to be out in November, it'll be curious to see like just what the next. It's like a weird Cold War. It's like the console Cold Wars. It's really like who's going to move first, who's going to nuke each other first. Like,
Okay.
If you need a point of reference, just go watch South Park with the console wars, and then that explains everything because it's literally back and forth between Sony and Bill Gates. It's like I know it's exaggerated a little bit, but to an extent, I'm like, there's a little bit of truth there. It's like they're not wrong.
I mean, there's Microsoft executives that are even saying that, like, hey, we're getting out of the console business, and it's because they're slowly pushing this cloud gaming, cloud digital, digital everything, and eventually the Xbox is just going to be a modular PC that you're buying updates to every couple of years to continue playing on their cloud platform.
Yep.
And kind of, I guess, tangentially related to the cloud, when I was looking up stuff for today, I came across something where, for the first time, I guess, in history, digital sales, and of course it has to do with COVID, but digital sales have surpassed physical sales, like 52% to 48%. And this is across the board, I guess.
Yep.
So,
I mean,
that's another point to look at for the PlayStation price points, right? If it's a $50 difference, I'll probably try to get the physical, the drive, the one with the drive. But if it's like $100 difference or more, sure, I'll go with digital, just so I could, save $100 and put that towards game. And I know the games are supposed to be more expensive now; they're going to be $70. So, but I think that's and I know there's a lot of good points with getting the physical one, right? You can trade them back in, or when you can't play them because of online stuff. But again, $50 to me wouldn't be that big of a difference. But I think $100 would be something to consider going to the the drive less edition, I guess.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Like, there is a point where it starts to be a little too much just to hold on to being able to have like the physical disc. Because even nowadays, if I can still go out and buy a game on a disc, have it readily available, it may take longer to install or whatnot, but I still like that feel of having like a physical copy in my hands that I can just pop in and let her run. Not to mention, then you start getting into like, well, when you're downloading it, you're downloading a license to it, and technically that license could be pulled at any point. I know for like certain things, it starts to kind of get in like a little bit of a weird area, but still just having that actual disc, like see it, hold it, look at it. I think that's just me still holding on to cartridges like from before, so it's just there and I have it and I can like look at it, but it's not like you get like the cool game pamphlets where you can look at like the controls or anything else. Now it's just like, oh, here's a flap, go check out the website to learn more. I'm like, I want more than this. Give me a game booklet, damn it, take me back.
Well,
it's almost similar to like the idea of like, do you prefer physical books versus like ebooks?
Well, and I was gonna say vinyl or iPad.
Yeah, same thing.
No, I think I'll tend to go with more physical because, like, every now and then, like, they'll have like that limited edition, game version that will have like the statue or something else that you can't get if you just buy the physical edition.
Sure.
So some people want that stuff. I didn't like for me, for example, like I even though I buy like my Blu-rays and I got download the code. Every now and then, like, oh, let me watch something, and then like the streaming service isn't working or it's just not playing. So I'll just get the disc and put it in and watch it that way. Because you never know, like, what's going to happen one day. Like, watch the cloud go down and all your games are lost. So I rather have, I go with Steve was saying. I rather have that physical, like, tangible thing that I could always just go back to in case anything ever happens with the games or whatnot.
When in doubt, follow Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical.
Yeah. Well, it's actually the 40th anniversary of Vanity, so that is a good comment there.
10 out of 10 reference. Very nice art. Well done.
Good night, folks.
It's not going to get much better than that.
I don't think so, man. I think that was about the perfect thing to do.
It's Sandy.
We're all gonna jump on once we find out prices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Totally
should.
down.
And I think I think tonight was a good jumping off point just to get like where everybody kind of is. All right, I'm the only Xbox guys. You're fucking dicks and like fucking fuck you.
Damn.
But,
all right.
Harsh words.
Wait, Doug, look, I do got the
Get
Xbox
off
right here.
my
See?
lawn.
There it
Doug,
goes.
we
There's
got
your
another,
Xbox, your Xbox console.
You also gave me this, Victor, the Halo 4 freaking thing back there, man.
I know. Oh, there's something. You'll probably get something tomorrow.
Our friend Mike wants to get on, and he is an Xbox guy. So we'll get another Xbox guy on for you. Look at this. He's begging.
And
So-
all right, what did you drag across there with that shitty fucking red controller?
He's your Huckleberry.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's delicious.
Terrible if you can plug
It's
it in.
good.
and you buy it
Actually, though, I will give that to you, Doug. I am not so much of a fan of this controller as it was. Like the 360, I feel like was the pinnacle of controllers for my hands. That was the most perfect thing ever. And I'm sad I have no idea what I did with my wired controller from long ago.
The Duke was a great controller.
Is that
I have-
one of the like?
I have my Xbox controller, but it's plugged into my PC.
Which is fine.
Because that's the proper way to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I have to say,
we're gonna invite Mike to come on next time with you. Give you somebody else to battle.
I'm the only Xbox guy, and not that they're not against Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Against PS5, and that's okay.
Doug,
They're just wrong, and that's okay.
Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, man, this has been great, guys. Thank you so much for being on here. This has been awesome.
It's been so much fun. Thanks for letting me join along. This was a fun ride.
All right, any last parting shots, buddy?
yeah, I always love hanging out with you guys, talking games, and it's good times, guys. So yeah,
LeBron is the best player ever.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoa. Okay.
are we
hold
going
on.
down this? No,
Wait
we
a
don't
minute.
have enough time in the night.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it's MJ. I'm sorry. No contest.
Hey, man, I'm older than you. I watched MJ. MJ ruined 10 years of NBA basketball with Hero Ball. He fucking ruined it for 10 years. And I had to watch fucking dipshits like Latrell Sprewell fucking try to be a Hero Ball like LeBron, Michael Jordan. And it
you
was
said LeBron. You're going with LeBron there, man. Do you hear that? You hear
no, I didn't
the old age
Latrell
game.
Sprewell.
It's
All right,
old age.
all right. Hold on. Can we all just agree that Dennis Rodman is the best thing to happen to basketball ever?
No.
Come on. He was the most entertaining,
Are you really
he was the most entertaining
So much
person to
promise
watch
until-
ever.
Until people started. Y'all clowns, man. Orlando Woolrich is the GOAT. What are we talking about, right?
All right. Hey, man, that guy rocked a 0 as his number. Who the fuck does that?
Orlando.
Apparently.
We were going so far off the rails. I'm clicking end broadcast.